The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Elon Musk is halting his plans to create a new political party, in part because he wants to support you for president in 2028. I know you've been asked about this. You said you have not discussed this with him.
That's right.
But do you see yourself as the apparent future of the MAGA movement?
No, I see myself as a vice president who's trying to do a good job for the American people, Kristen. And if I do a good job, and if the president continues to be successful, as I know that he will be, the politics will take care of itself. We can cross that bridge when we come to it. But we just had an election 7 months ago. I think I'm probably like most Americans, and I'm already sick of talking about politics after a big general election. The next election that matters is not the election of 2028, it's 2026. So before we talk about anything 3.5 years down the road, let's take a break from politics, focus on governing the country, and when we return to politics, it's going to be to focus on those midterm elections. We don't have to live like this. My message to my fellow citizens here in DC or all across the country would be that allowing vagrants and armed robberies to take over your city, that's a policy choice.
Joining us live now is Joe Siracusa, who's also from Chicago. So if the guard was to go in anywhere, Joe, should it be the long-time high-crime city of She-Town?
Well, I don't think so, Pete. You know, it's I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. They're just down the block from Leroy Brown and those people. Look, Chicago's a very interesting place for Chicagoans. As soon as you start to introduce federal troops, unless there's a riot or the place is burning down, it's going to be a mistake. Now, keep in mind, Greater Chicago is 9.3 million people. Chicago itself, that's what the president has control over, the ability to go in, is about 2.7 million people, less than Melbourne, as a matter of fact. It's a Democratic town, and it's a sanctuary town. And the mayor there, Brandon Johnson, is the most unpopular man in the United States. He has a 26% popularity rating. And, the crime there it ebbs and flows. It all depends what neighborhood you live in, whether you run into a crack dealer at 12 o'clock. We all know what happened to Smollett and people like that. They say they got mugged going to get a Subway sandwich at 3 in the morning. Which you should, actually. But the thing is that Pritzker down in state, the governor, he's running for president. Brandon Johnson's running for his political life. And the president would have to apportion those troops across 77 neighborhoods. 20 probably don't need to see any extra cops or anything. And Chicago has the third largest police force in the United States, 12,800 sworn officers. So, normally they're in control. But look, what do you do about a drive-by shooting? Now, your package with Rahm Emanuel, former mayor of Chicago, suggests that the problem is prosecution. Chicago has kind of a way of letting people back out on the street again. And so he's saying, the problem there is to come down hard on crime after you have arrested somebody.
Well, Rahms wants to run for president too, does he not?
Hey, look, in America, everybody wants to run for president. It's after Donald Trump, it makes, it's open house. I mean, everybody thinks they can do it. They think it's a reality show. And of course, in many ways, the presidency of the United States is a reality show. But look, the president wants to bring in troops. He wants to come down on ice, and it's a sanctuary city. Right. That is, cops and people there do not cooperate with the federal government, and he wants to do that. He's been doing that in New York City. So the president is beginning, or I'm saying he's continuing his retribution around the United States. He's going after individuals. Now he's going after cities. And this may be a little harder.
So
than
leads
John Bolton. This is hard.
That leads me to my next point, because it's already happened in California, DC, now maybe Chicago, New York, Baltimore. The common thread is that all these cities are in Democrat states, Joe. So is it a reminder that the Democrats are weak on crime?
Yeah, he wants to stick it to them. And keep in mind too, Pete, that in the United States, the governor and the mayor, particularly of Los Angeles, the mayor of Chicago, it's a patronage city. If you want to be police chief, you're appointed by the mayor. Fire department, appointed by the mayor. All the jobs there are patronage jobs. So people who don't even like the Democrats tend to vote Democrat because they want to keep their jobs. But it's a very hard ask. And asking young people from Illinois to go in and to guard neighborhoods and wait for the next drive-by shooting, well, what's it going to solve? I think the president is performing here, and it's going to probably backfire. This all backfires sooner or later, because unless you have a real riot, these particular people are not necessarily necessary. But look. The president's made it very clear to the people who want to be president, I'm coming for you. I'm not waiting for you to come to me. So it's a real signal to them to pay attention.
Sure is. Joe Siracusa, our man on a Monday, also from Chicago, so he knows his stuff. As always, Joe, thank you so much. We'll chat again soon.